Greetings from South Korea. I am Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news making headlines today. President Lee Jae-myung called return to the Blue House a symbolic milestone that shows the restoration of people's sovereignty and democracy. He presided over the cabinet meeting this morning, the first to take place at the Blue House in more than 3 years. He vowed to bolster direct communication with the public for transparency. The cabinet signed into law 2 bills recently passed by the National Assembly, one on mandating specialized tribunals handling insurrection cases, and the other on imposing heavy punitive damages against false information. In the meantime, President Lee will travel to China for a 4-day state visit next month. His spokesperson Kang Yoo-jung announced on Tuesday that the president will depart for Beijing on January 4 at the invitation of Chinese President Xi Jinping. The leaders will hold a summit followed by a state dinner. The Seoul-Beijing relationship, supply chains, and the digital economy are likely to top the agenda. President Lee also plans to visit Shanghai for a business event, among others. It will be his first trip to China since taking office. The two leaders last met in November in South Korea's Gyeongju on the sidelines of the APEC leaders meeting. At the National Assembly on Tuesday, the hearing on Coupang got underway to examine the recent data breach and personal information leak at the company, along with allegations of unfair trade practices and labor conditions. 13 current and former Coupang executives have been called as witnesses. But founder and board chairman Kim Byung-kee, as well as other key executives, did not attend. Democratic Party lawmakers said it's simply unacceptable that Chairman Kim is absent again and demanded that, if necessary, all legal measures be pursued, including filing a criminal complaint for him to appear. Lawmakers from the main opposition People Power Party were also absent, arguing the case should be handled through parliamentary investigation and overseen by the Political Affairs Committee. The floor leader of the ruling Democratic Party, Kim Byung-kee, has resigned amid a series of allegations surrounding him and his family. Kim announced his resignation on Tuesday and apologized for his conduct, which he said fell far short of the public's expectations. He added that the controversies could undermine his duties as floor leader and emphasized that his resignation was not an attempt to evade responsibility. Kim faced mounting pressure to step down following allegations that he had used hotel vouchers worth over $1,000 that were given to him by Korean Air, as well as other allegations over his wife's use of operating expenses for personal purposes and suspicions that he used aides to handle matters related to his son. Following his resignation, the DP will soon vote on an interim leader to hold the post until the general election in June. Sales of merchandise sold at the National Museum of Korea reached a record high this year. According to preliminary data released Tuesday by the National Museum Foundation of Korea, total sales of so-called mutes items in 2025 came to almost $28 million. That's around double the total from the year before. The foundation also said more than $2.7 million worth of goods were sold so far in December. The museum also recorded more than 6 million visitors this year, the highest number since it opened in 1945. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.